I'll give you over to my father, Reuven Rubin. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I was talking to people from different continents, so I'm just going to open with something that caught my eye. And there's a family of hawks living in Borough Park. Now, Borough Park is the largest Orthodox community in the world, and a huge hawk decided to make its home in Borough Park on 15th Avenue on somebody's windowsill. And she decided, she made herself a nest. She laid 3 eggs, and the eggs hatched. And now she has sitting there with her 3 fledglings, and everyone in Borough Park is enraptured with this huge bird. She flies in a large circle over the fledglings, over the children, and from 3 blocks away, if she senses anyone's going near, any bird comes near that area, she'll come swooping down. And I read this, and and I said to myself, it's a typical Jewish mother. As far as they are, you might think they don't see, they see. And they're there, and they'll defend. And they'll come down swooping on anyone who will touch their sweethearts. So we have to think about this in that, where do we get the strength to be this super Jewish mommy? Where do we get the strength? Where do we get the strength from being in this dark, difficult time? Right? We're all going through difficult periods of time. It's unprecedented. I've been speaking to Rabbanim from the whole world. I've been speaking to doctors, and I've been speaking to psychologists. It's just the enormity of what we're going through. In the history of the world, there's never been such a thing as a lockdown for the whole world. So you have to, so our emotions are all over the shop. We're all stretched out. People talk to me, and I can see, calm down. Everyone is stretched out. But you have to accept that the Kaviyuchu Hashem knew exactly which neshamas he was sending down to this earth to weather this storm. Every one of us is special, because your neshama was created when the world was created. That's what our rabbis tell us, that all the neshamas in the whole history of the life of the world were created at the time that Hashem created the world. So your neshama has been floating around in heaven for all these thousands of years. And Hashem said, I'm waiting, because there's going to be a generation, there's going to be a moment when I'm going to need superstars who are going to be able to weather the storm. And we are those superstars. Hashem knew exactly where we should be placed. So we shouldn't beat ourselves up. And I know it's hard. And I know we ask questions. And I know that we can understand, we get tired with the kids, and we just want to flop about. I wrote about this recently. It's called brain fog. People just get so tzumuchid. We don't have the kayak anymore. Everyone is tired. You say to somebody, let's do this and this in the house. We're going to shine the silver. Shine the silver, right? And it comes to 11:30 at night. No, when are we starting? Oh, we'll do it tomorrow. A month later, we'll do it again. Don't worry, we'll get there. Because we don't have the strength, and it takes away our strength and our will. But Hashem knows where you are, and Hashem trusts us to get through this. There's a thing that people don't realize, and that is that Hashem trusts us more than we trust ourselves. And Hashem has betochen, has belief in us more than we have belief sometimes even in the Kaviyachol in Hashem. Chazal tells us that Hashem really trusts us that we're going to do the right thing. And he knows we're the guys who could do it. So don't lose courage. And don't get beat up about this. And if it's a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. But you're going to get through it. Because if not, Hashem wouldn't have put us here. So your neshama is unique. No other generation could have withstood this that we are withstanding. Do you know that? Because in the history of mankind, it's never happened such a thing. So Hashem decided there has to be such a moment when we reset the world. And he decided that the neshamas of his children would be such special neshamas that they could reset the world. And which neshama did he pick? Yours, mine, my children. We don't think we're superstars, but God does. So I want you to have the courage. I want you to be strong. Don't lose faith in yourselves. We're all swimming in the same waters. This has been a great equalizer. There's nowhere else to run. I can't go to my house in Spain. Even though I don't have one, by the way, don't get excited. But there's nowhere to go. We wanted to go to Israel. Can't get there. I have all my Einiklach in Sweden, living in the New York City area. Can't get there. Thank you. I've got a Zoom. A Zoom doesn't hug. Zooms don't hug. And the human being needs a hug. So I want you to hug your own neshama because you're special. When I was a kid, we're going back in the ancient days, I was a lifeguard. Okay, look at me. I was a lifeguard. I have a license as a lifeguard and an advanced swimmer by the lifesavers, whatever they call themselves, in America, of course. And so I was a teenager, and I became a lifeguard. And so one of the things we did, because you'd have, especially by the Hasidic kids, you'd have like all these kids jumping in the swimming pool together, and so a lifeguard has to be watching the whole time, making sure no one gets into trouble. And one of the things to do for safety's sake is you set up a buddy system. Every child had a buddy, and I would blow the whistle every once in a while, and you had to grab the hand of your buddy and raise it up. And I would count the house to see everyone, if there's anyone, God forbid, in distress. So that's called the buddy system. Blow the whistle, and everyone, you never lose sight of where your buddy is, because I could blow the whistle at any moment. Chaiky's network is meant to be the gift of a buddy system, because we need each other. I've spoken to professionals. I've spoken to people who have been in the top echelons of the health system. It's like we all need a buddy. We all need each other. And that was Chaiky's gift. I wrote a few weeks ago that Chaiky, when we used to go in a taxi, I'd get into a taxi, Chaiky, right? She knew. Within, the guy would ask where you're going, and I would already start talking to this guy, asking him where you're from, who you're going, and she would, I didn't write this, but she would give me the look. It was the wife's look, shut up already, right? You're going to get us into trouble. Or she'd squeeze my hand till the blood stopped running to my fingers. And then I would say, then she would pipe in, of course. She would take over the conversation. And within 3 blocks, she knew the guy's whole history. That was who she was. She opened up people. We've been closed down. But we aren't closed down because we have each other. So I want you to keep in mind this buddy. Take a buddy. take that one person from the group that you take upon yourself to speak to them at least, I'd say once every 2 days, or preferably once a day. Hi, I have a chava. I have a friend, a rabbi, who's very poorly. He has no strength to talk. He's very sickly. But I call him up every day at 12:30. How you doing, boy? Fine. Baruch Hashem. Good. Thank you, he says to me. I'll speak to you tomorrow. That's all he needs. If I miss a day or if I'm late, he'll text me because he'll worry. That's what the buddy system does. You see that one person who really cares enough to call you up and say, just say, Baruch Hashem, I'm okay. Thank you. And we'll do this. We'll get through this. This week's Pasha, the Torah reading is Bahalascha, speaks about the creation, the setting up of the land, the menorah, the original menorah in the times of the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash, how Aaron would light these candles. It was a ceremony, it was something special and unique. Rabbi said, but the Beis HaMikdash did not need lighting. It had windows, it was open. Why did we need these lights? And the answer is that those lights, that special menorah that Aaron HaKohen lit, was for our souls, for us. We need light within ourselves. So this is what I want us to do. Light up the neshamas of each other. Bring light to each other. It's not about the electricity. Sunny days, not sunny days. It's about yourself, your neshama. Open up your heart to be able to see the light. I miss my wife desperately. And I didn't make this to, I don't want to cry, but she could open up the house. She would, and that, we all need that. And that would be the big schus that you could give her neshama. If you take it upon yourself to speak to others and to be mechazik each other, I promise you, you're all unique. It chose you from thousands and millions of neshamas to be the mothers who are going to get us through this. So be strong, bring simcha into your lives, and the Eibishter are helping. We'll get together soon. We'll have a meeting, and we'll be able to laugh and have a drink and say l'chaim zusammen. Meanwhile, I'm going to give you back over to my dear daughter, who's also my hostess in my own home, Baruch Hashem. She's fed me up very well. I have what's called a corona belly. I think everyone has gained a bit of, everything's getting a bit tight. So I want to thank you very much for being here. And the Eibishter are helping. We should see each other gesund. Watch out, be gesund. Follow the laws and the guidelines. Bernice Lieberman is here. Her son, Elon, I speak to him every Friday. He's a doctor taking care of respiratory illnesses in Wythenshawe. And I speak to, we must keep the rules. I was just reading a paper from one of the greatest rabbis today, Rabbi Osher Weiss in Jerusalem, who writes, it is sekonos nefashos. Do not cheat. Don't think it's cute. It's not cute. It's sekonos nefashos. If you can't have a minyan, it's going to be all right. Hashem is going to love your omen when you come back to shul, even more. So don't be a hero to set outside and to get involved with iffy. First of all, it's the law of the land, and Jews have a halacha that you must follow the laws of the land. So don't jump the gun. Be safe, because we need you to be healthy. We want healthy mommies. I'll give you over to my daughter. Thank you very much. I hope you had something out of this. I certainly did.